The Sun King, Akhenaten's radical religious revolution. Imagine a time when gods ruled every aspect of life, their temples towering over bustling cities. Then, one pharaoh dared to rewrite the divine order, introducing a single god. This is the story of Akhenaten, the revolutionary ruler who defied ancient Egypt's polytheistic roots and forever shaped history. For centuries, Egyptian society worshipped a pantheon of deities. Each god was deeply intertwined with life and culture. But Akhenaten shattered this tradition, proclaiming the sun disk, Aten, as the only true god. Why would a pharaoh risk upending centuries of devotion? And how did this bold shift reshape an empire? Before Akhenaten, ancient Egyptians believed in hundreds of gods responsible for creation, nature, and fate. From Amun to Osiris, their faith upheld the power of priests and temples across the land. But everything changed during Akhenaten's reign in the 14th century BCE. He declared Aten, a radiant sun disk, as the sole deity deserving of worship. This pivot wasn't subtle. Akhenaten erased other gods from temples and inscriptions. Rituals, once vibrant in imagery, were stripped of the familiar and recentered on Aten's brilliance, forging what many call history's first instance of monotheism. Akhenaten's revolution upended everyday life. Priests, who wielded immense power by mediating between gods and people, saw their influence wane. Temples of long-revered gods like Amun fell silent, while resources funneled into grand Aten temples, reshaping Egypt's architectural landscape. Even art was transformed. Gone were the rigid and idealized depictions of royalty. Akhenaten introduced flowing depictions of himself and his family under Aten's rays, symbolizing intimacy and divine connection. These changes reflected not only his spiritual vision, but also his control over every facet of Egyptian life. To mark his religious revolution, Akhenaten abandoned the grand capitals of Thebes and Memphis. In their place, he built Akhetaten, the horizon of Aten, modern-day Amarna. This city served as a physical and spiritual hub for his monotheistic vision, radiating devotion to its central deity. Akhetaten stood as a dazzling testament to his reign, with open temples that bathed worshippers in Aten's sunlight. But its construction placed immense strain on the kingdom's resources. Critics blamed Akhenaten's obsession for neglecting Egypt's political strength and leaving the empire vulnerable to external threats. Akhenaten's revolution was met with mixed reactions. For the devout, abandoning beloved gods felt like heresy. Tensions rose as traditional beliefs clashed with this radical new faith. Resentment simmered within the priesthood and among citizens who missed the stability of Egypt's time-honored religion. Even Akhenaten's own family wasn't spared from this turmoil. Queen Nefertiti, initially a staunch supporter, seemed to fade from historical records late in his reign. Some speculate a rift over the sweeping changes may have divided even Egypt's royal house. After Akhenaten's death, Egypt swiftly rejected his radical vision. His successor, Tutankhamun, restored the traditional pantheon, reviving the worship of gods like Amun. Akhenaten's name and legacy were erased, his temples razed, and Akhetaten abandoned to the desert sands. This rejection marked a return to normalcy for Egypt, but it left lingering questions. Was Akhenaten truly a visionary ahead of his time, or a ruler whose obsessive focus nearly crippled an empire? His revolution, though brief, planted the seeds of debates on monotheism that echo through history. Akhenaten's reign remains one of the most debated chapters in history. His vision of Aten's singular divinity was a bold challenge to convention, influencing later discussions of monotheistic faiths. Yet, his efforts nearly erased him from collective memory, earning him the title of the heretic pharaoh. Today, we view Akhenaten not only as a ruler, but as a symbol of change, both its power and its cost. His revolution reminds us how belief systems can shape societies, and how resistance to change can be just as transformative as the change itself. Pharaoh Akhenaten's bold religious revolution broke barriers, startled his people, and challenged the foundations of Egyptian society. His story is one of courage, controversy, and the enduring legacy of belief. By reimagining divinity, Akhenaten carved a path for future generations to question, innovate, and explore new spiritual boundaries. Let Akhenaten's journey inspire you to question what drives change today. Dive deeper into ancient Egypt's history, from its glorious pharaohs to its enduring mysteries. Like and subscribe to uncover more stories that shaped our world. Join us for the next chapter of history's greatest tales.